There is a serious problem out there in the healing and spiritual awakening community, and I have to talk about it. At least a few times every day, I have women reaching out to me that tell me that they want to heal so they can attract better partners. Now, some of them mean they want to heal so that they can level up and be more attractive to healthy partners. Totally get it, completely understandable, and that's actually what I help with in my Living Free Finding Love program. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description here. But some of them mean that they're looking to attract better partners, as in the law of attraction. Like there's something within them, like a magnet, that is attracting narcissist or emotionally unavailable men to them, and they want to fix that. And when I get those messages, I go, oh no, because I understand where it comes from, and it's not actually what's happening. I really see this as a problem that actually seems to be getting worse, because while law of attraction teachings can be helpful for some people, they can actually be really harmful for many other people, especially women who are going through difficult situations with trying to heal from bad relationships, and really anyone that's going through unfortunate circumstances. If you notice, if you've been following me for a while or you've been watching my videos for a while, I actually never use the word attract. And there's a very specific reason I'm doing so. It's because I don't want anyone to think that I am teaching law of attraction. So I never talk about attracting a good partner. I talk about opening up your heart, healing so that you can let a good partner in. So today I'm going to talk about why the law of attraction teaching is so prevalent, why it's so attractive, and what's really going on. Real quick, if this is your first video of mine that you're watching, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay and I am the Real Love Alchemist, and I help women go from bad relationships to real love with the magic of subconscious work. So the law of attraction started to become really popular around 2006 when The Secret came out. This was a book and it was also a movie, and it was based on the idea or the premise that your thoughts and your beliefs are creating your reality, which is a very seductive premise, right? The idea that you are this all-powerful person who, if you just control your thoughts and the things that you're believing and feeling, that you could have whatever you want. It's kind of exciting. So in this book and in this movie, the author shares her own personal experiences with using these teachings. And she says they're from ancient teachings, but doesn't really say where they come from or go into any detail about that. So when you're new into the healing world, into the spiritual awakening world, it's very easy to get pulled into these teachings. There are so many teachers out there teaching that law of attraction is the real spiritual journey. Spiritual awakening is about learning how to manifest. And that's what a lot of people are teaching. So again, it's very easy to get pulled into these ideas when you're first starting out on your healing or awakening journey. I got pulled into it early on in my journey. I thought that this was an exciting idea. Yeah, great. I could just change my thoughts and everything will change around me. Sounds pretty awesome. What the law of attraction doesn't directly say, well, actually some teachers do say this, but what is implied then, if your thoughts are controlling your reality and you can attract all the good things into your life, then if bad things are happening to you, like getting into a relationship with a narcissist, then you must have attracted that. That if your thoughts or your vibration attracts the good things, then one can easily assume that if bad things are happening to you, that's because of your vibration or your thoughts, which can then put you in a place of self-blame, where you're blaming yourself for things that you actually have no control over. Now, I am all for holding ourselves accountable for the things in our lives that we do have control over, like our choices in different partners. But to blame ourselves for meeting someone, that takes it too far. If you've been in a bad relationship and you're trying to heal, and you're buying into these teachings, and you're then blaming yourself for things that you didn't have any control over, like just meeting this person, then that makes it really hard to heal, and it's actually quite dangerous. it can actually be extraordinarily damaging to someone who's already going through so much. Like, for example, if you were in a relationship, an abusive relationship, where you experienced gaslighting, and then you come out of that relationship and the New Age tells you that you attracted that bad relationship, well, then the gaslighting just continues. It can put you in a really bad place, which is why I keep talking about this. I don't want anyone to get stuck in this belief that they attracted the bad relationships to themselves. I don't want you to blame yourself for things that aren't your fault. Law of attraction is not a spiritual truth. How do I know this? I have a couple reasons. I'm going to share them with you here today. The first reason is my own personal experience with trying to make these teachings work. Like I told you in the beginning of my spiritual awakening healing journey, I got pulled into these teachings, and I really tried to make them work. I was going through some physical issues, and I thought, oh, okay, I must be attracting this because that's what the teachings were telling me. That if I just could figure out a way to change my thoughts and to change my beliefs, then I would heal. And so the harder I tried to change my thoughts, to raise my vibration, the more anxious and more miserable I actually got. What I really needed to do was to accept myself, to not try to change my feelings, my thoughts, but just to let them be there. Now, some people in the comments will come and tell me that, well, I wasn't doing it right, and that's why it wasn't working for me. But I spent months, probably even up to a year, working these teachings to a T. And again, I just got more and more miserable. And it was only when I stopped trying to make these teachings work that I actually started to really heal and to feel better. How else do I know that law of attraction isn't real? Well, there's more of my personal experience here. So many of these teachers who are promoting these ideas of law of attraction talk about how raising your vibration is what helps you attract better things into your life. And they talk about how you get there being the spiritual awakening journey. Like, the more awakened or enlightened you are, the better life you're gonna have, essentially. So I got to that point in my healing journey, long after I let go of trying to make law of attraction work. I got to that point where I experienced awakening or self-realization or dissolving the ego. Lots of different ways to put this. Another way to put it is I found what I was looking for. And now, according to New Age teachings, my vibration was super high. So even with my supposed high vibration, about a year later, I got into a narcissistic relationship. So that just proved to me again, well, you know what? Law of attraction isn't real, because my vibration was supposed to be so high. I was supposed to be repelling all these bad things from my life and only attracting really good things, and that is far from what happened. And so what that told me is there's a whole lot more going on here than just, oh, if you raise your vibration and heal, that everything in your life will get better. Not that easy. A third reason I know that law of attraction isn't real is because later on in my healing and spiritual awakening journey, I learned from genuinely awakened and enlightened teachers. Not New Age teachers, but teachers who had gone through the awakening journey and had essentially dissolved their egos. And what I learned is that none of these teachers are talking about law of attraction. The reason they're not teaching law of attraction is because it's not part of a genuine spiritual awakening experience. But it actually feels very real at a certain point in awakening. And this happened to me too. So after I experienced that self-realization, there was a moment, I would say more than a moment, there was like a couple weeks, maybe even a little bit longer, where law of attraction actually felt real. And I was like, oh crap, they were right this whole time. So I had a moment there. But that actually fell away very quickly. And what I realized was that wasn't the ultimate truth. That wasn't something that I was realizing as the truth of the universe. It was a perception that eventually fell away. And that's really what happens in the spiritual awakening journey. You have these deep moments of realization, of healing, and you think, oh my God, I have discovered the truth of the universe. You guys, it feels so legit. It feels so real. But what you realize if you go deeper is there's even more realizations to have. And the one that you previously had goes away, and then you have another one. This is what awakening is like. And if you get stuck in one of those realizations, you can believe that you have found the truth of the universe when there's actually a lot further for you to go. If you stop at one of these places, you think that you have got it all figured out. And I was so there. I was there many times in my healing and awakening journey. But I was fortunate enough to find these genuine teachers who said, nope, Lindsay, don't stop there. There's more for you to go. Keep going, go deeper. So I didn't get stuck in that, but unfortunately, a lot of people who are out there talking about law of attraction, they don't have that teacher or that mentor to help them to go deeper, and they do get stuck in these levels of perception. Lastly here, there is no scientific evidence that supports law of attraction. Now, people will say, but quantum physics. There is a lot that we don't know about how the universe works, how the world works, including the realm of quantum physics, but there is currently no evidence or no ideas in quantum physics that support the law of attraction. A lot of these teachers who talk about law of attraction have taken pieces from quantum physics and tried to fit it into law of attraction, but it really doesn't stand up. Now, could it be possible? Sure. In the same way that nothing is impossible until it's been thoroughly disproven. I'm actually super open-minded. I know that there's so much about the universe that we don't understand, and there's a lot more going on than what we can see. I'm an energy healer, so by definition, I'm using these unseen forces or energies. But when it comes to the law of attraction, I'm just not seeing the evidence. While in other areas, like psychic phenomenon or the possibility of reincarnation, there is some evidence to show that things like this could be happening. I'm not seeing the equivalent in law of attraction. There's no conclusive evidence about psychic phenomenon or possible reincarnation, but people are out there researching it. They're asking the questions and they're doing the research. Again, that's not happening with law of attraction. It's actually considered pseudoscience at this point. What does pseudoscience mean? This just means that the people who are talking about law of attraction claim that there's some scientific rigor or evidence behind law of attraction that isn't really there. Or in a lot of these cases, they discover that if there is scientific evidence, the research methods were actually quite flawed. So is it possible that law of attraction is real? Again, it's possible in the sense that it's not been disproven, but it may never be proven because it's probably not actually a thing. So why is law of attraction so popular? Why is the New Age really pushing these theories? And why do people feel really drawn to them? Well, the idea that you have control over every single thing that's happening in your life, it actually feels pretty amazing. When you've been a victim of something or someone, when you've had a lot of bad things happen to you, it can feel really empowering to think or to believe that you actually can have control over all the things that happen to you in your life. That's what it was like for me. I wanted to finally feel like I had some control, like I had some power, and I wasn't just at the mercy of the universe, so to speak. It felt really good to buy into that. But what it does, what it's really doing, it's this elaborate way to spiritually bypass the reality of what's happening, which is that we don't actually have control over every single thing that happens to us. That's really what I should call it. Law of attraction, the great spiritual bypass that actually most people can't see. Because what an authentic healing journey or spiritual awakening journey calls us to do is to surrender, to accept the reality that, again, we don't have control over a lot of what happens to us. We have some control, but sometimes we don't. An authentic spiritual awakening journey also helps us to accept the things that we do have control over. And this is what I help my clients with when they come into my programs. I help them figure out the things that they don't have any control over, that they just have to let go and surrender to, but to discover the real power that they do have to change their lives. But the actual awakening process asks us to make peace with the reality that some things in our lives we do have control over, and there are going to be things in our lives that we have absolutely no control over. Sometimes you'll meet a narcissist, and it will have nothing to do with your thoughts or your vibration. You'll meet a narcissist because there's lots of narcissistic people out there. Unless you're hiding in your room all day and not going out, you're gonna meet narcissistic people. But even then, if you're hiding in your room and not going out, you're probably online, and you'll end up meeting them online too. That's just how the reality of the world works. We can't control natural disasters or random acts of violence, and that's what we're surrendering into when we're going on a healing or an awakening journey. It's making peace with really the utter randomness that's going on in life, that again, we don't always have control over every single thing that happens to us. What you will be able to do when you've healed and learned to set boundaries is when you do meet those narcissistic people or the unavailable men, you then choose to not be with them. You can walk away when you see signs of narcissism, or again, walk away when you see signs that someone isn't available. That is the power that we do have. So that's why these law of attraction teachings are so seductive, because they make you feel so powerful. Like again, this all-powerful person who can control everything that happens to them. But like I talked about, it's not a genuine spiritual awakening. It's not the direction we want to go in when we're looking for true healing and self-love. We want to accept the things that we cannot change, like our partners, and work to make the changes that we do have the power to make. And that is where true peace comes from. It's not going to come from trying to make law of attraction work. So again, this is not to say that I know everything that is happening out there on a spiritual level, on a metaphysical level. I certainly don't. But what I do know is that the way law of attraction is being taught today, it encourages spiritual bypassing. It's being taught as a way to bypass certain uncomfortable emotions and certain uncomfortable realities of life. So that's really why it's out there. It's like pop spirituality. It's a quick fix, but it's not going to help you get to the root of what you truly need to heal from. So if you feel like you're attracting bad partners, because that's just what's been happening to you, you keep getting into bad relationships, know that that's not the ultimate truth of what's going on. Usually, what's really going on is there's some subconscious blocks going on within you, or some subconscious resistance to real love, to healthy love, to intimacy, that keeps you in these cycles of bad relationships. Either you don't feel attracted to the healthy partners, you might feel kind of like turned off by them, repelled by them, or you keep the not so great partners around too long. Maybe you don't have a good sense of your own boundaries or your own sense of agency. That's often the truth of what's going on. So if you're ready to change that, if you're ready to open your heart up to real love, that's what I can help you with in my Living Free Finding Love program. This is the work that I did to help me get into the healthy relationship that I'm in now. It was releasing the subconscious blocks. It was opening my heart up to love. It wasn't trying to make law of attraction work. So again, if you're interested in this work, check out the link in the description here. If you're doing law of attraction and it's currently working for you, or you're happy and it feels good, that's awesome. I'm truly happy for you. This video is here if it stops working or if it's just making you miserable. If you guys want to learn more about this life-changing work that I do and you're tired of trying to make law of attraction work for you, check out this video here. This is a masterclass I did recently talking about what this healing process looks like.